So the Medicare Part B premium is going to increase by 9.7% in 2026. At the same time, President Trump is saying he wants a $2,000 stimulus check to help the American people cover these costs. That's the subject of today's video. Guys, let's jump right into it. A lot of viewers on my channel are retired, they're on Social Security benefits, and they're constantly talking about the fact that in the comments of my videos that the COLA adjustments are great, which is the cost of living adjustments, typically increasing Social Security benefits. But a lot of people in my comments are constantly say that those increases are in large part offset by Medicare Part B increases. And this is going to be a massive increase in 2026, 9.7% increase to the standard Medicare Part B premium. Now, this will depend on your income. At this point, most of you know that. But that is a massive increase. And let's jump right into that really quickly. Let's cover this Medicare increase. And then we're going to quickly talk about what some people are speculating needs to happen for this $2,000 stimulus check to actually be approved, which would definitely help a ton of people. Now, as far as the Medicare Part B premium, the standard Medicare Part B premium will increase to $202.90 per month in 2026, which is a 9.7% increase from the current $185 per month in 2025. This was announced just in the last, I believe just this morning actually, as I'm making this video. Now, because those monthly premiums are typically deducted directly from Social Security benefit payments, those rates on Medicare premiums affect how much of an actual COLA increase beneficiaries will see in 2026. The Social Security Administration has announced a 2.8% cost of living adjustment. Now, one thing I want to point out here, which is obvious, but I just want to state the obvious here, is even though the 2.8% increase on Social Security, that number is a lot smaller than that 9.7% increase on the Medicare premium, you're taking a percentage from a lot smaller number, right? So if the current standard premium is $185 per month, you're increasing that by 9.7. That's about a $17 per month increase. Now, the 2.8% Social Security increase, I believe the average person is getting almost $2,000 per month currently. So if you do the math, obviously, even though it's only a 2.8% increase, it will be more than the increase in Medicare, right, for most people. So most people are going to see an increase in their Social Security benefits. Now, I just quickly wanted to cover that, guys, but with costs going up, Social Security benefits already being inadequate, millions of seniors living in poverty, I strongly support this $2,000 stimulus check being approved. And this is coming from someone who won't qualify for the stimulus check. Now, the exact income thresholds haven't been announced. The Treasury Secretary said that it'd be somewhere around $100,000 per year as far as your income that would disqualify you from the checks. I would not get these checks. I actually didn't get the first three either. But I'm a huge proponent for people getting stimulus checks because I understand the government typically does not work for the average person. The economy is essentially rigged for corporations and billionaires. So I support giving this money to the people. Now, some people are speculating that certain things need to happen for this check to come to fruition. And let's check this out. This is from Axios. Let's see what they have to say here. President Trump said on Monday that his promised $2,000 tariff dividend checks are coming by mid-2026. So this is actually a direct update from President Trump. He came out and said he wants these to come out by mid-2026, which obviously is about, the next, mid is kind of broad. That could be in the next 6 to 9 months. Now, the big picture, the checks, a tariff dividend paid to most Americans that comes as the White House deals with an affordability crisis would likely require Congress to act, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Sunday. We need legislation for that, and we all know this has to go in the budget reconciliation bill, which is basically the only thing that gets passed every year at this point. That's what Trump used, or Congress used, to pass Trump's tax bill, which at this point, which I believe was like 6 months ago. So they'd probably have to put that in there as well. Now, would this be before? Now, personally, I was assuming this would be after the midterms, which would be after November. which would typically be like in January once the new senators and representatives take seats. Kind of essentially being a bribe, for Republicans to say, hey, vote for us, we'll give you stimulus checks, and they get those approved. Just like Democrats did, guys. Both sides do this stuff. But Trump is saying that his goal is mid-2026, which would be before the midterm elections. Now, personally, I don't think that's going to happen. Does Trump think that's going to happen? I really don't think so either. I think he knows he's doing this, for political gain, which I don't blame him, obviously. Okay, so let's take a look and see what exactly needs to happen. According to this person here, I'm just curious as to see what their thoughts are. It's unclear who would get the check. The checks, though, would potentially goose inflation, even as the White House insists they're bringing prices down. It's hard to say if a stimulus check itself would actually cause the inflation, honestly. Potentially transitory, obviously. But a one-time check, I really don't think so. During the pandemic, we had more than just the stimulus checks. I think the child tax credits were even more inflationary. They were giving families like sometimes thousands of dollars per month. People on unemployment getting, hundreds of dollars per month, if not thousands actually, for years. It was insane. Those are more inflammatory. Now, Republicans face the brunt of voter blame for high prices as of late. Now, he wants to use the tariff income to pay for these checks. Okay, so Congress would need to consider legislation to make the checks happen. Lawmakers would need to present a bill that would have to pass the House, Senate, and ultimately receive a signature from Trump. Yes, but the Supreme Court could eliminate a chunk of Trump's tariffs, with justices recently sounding skeptical of the president's authority. So, in a nutshell, they're saying Congress has to approve a bill, which obviously we already knew that, and that's a little bit lame there. Now, they're also alluding to the fact that the Supreme Court in the next 6 months or so is supposed to judge as to whether or not Trump can even do these tariffs without Congress's approval. Personally, I think it's a moot point because I highly doubt, even if they shut these down, that they're going to make the United States pay those tariffs back, right? I think once the money's here, it's there, and then they can use that money for stimulus checks if that bill gets approved. So personally, I don't think the Supreme Court's going to make them pay it back, which means the money would be available for the checks. Secondly, Trump has come out saying he's aiming for mid-2026, which I'm surprised by because it's before the midterms. Now, personally, I think he's just saying that to make it seem like he wants to get it done soon, to try and make it seem like it's not a bribe when it actually is. I think we all know he wants to do it after the midterms to get those votes. And on top of that, guys, we have this massive 9.7% increase in the Medicare Part B premium for the average person. Again, it's a sliding scale depending on your income. So if you're low income, it could potentially be lower than that. But that's the base case there, guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is this 9.7% increase massive? Were you expecting it? Are you surprised by it? And what do you think about these stimulus checks, guys? Do you think they'll ultimately be approved? Personally, I do. I really do think they will be approved. I mean, Trump tends to get what he wants. Republicans tend to fall in line. Whether you like him or hate him, personally, I don't like Trump. To be honest with you, I can't stand the guy. I think he's terrible. But I do support stimulus checks. And guys, please subscribe. I will keep you posted as things develop. Please like the video. And I'll see you on the next video. And as always, my email is in the description of this video. If you guys are interested in a financial peace plan to learn how to solve your problems with money, whether it's expenses being too high, income being too low. I'm someone who used to live paycheck to paycheck, literally lived off ramen noodle, and I was able to find financial peace by learning how to manage a budget, learning how to increase my income, learning how to make passive income through stocks and real estate, as well as learning how to lower my expenses. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Email is in the description of this video, and I'll see you guys on the next video.